It was meant to be just another peaceful afternoon in Queensland, Australia. Clear blue skies, a gentle breeze, and the steady rhythm of everyday life. But by mid-afternoon, the world flipped upside down. Menacing clouds twisted and boiled on the horizon. The air turned thick and charged, that eerie calm where even birds go quiet. Then the first thunder cracked like a whip. In moments, the sky glowed an unnatural green, a deadly signal every storm chaser dreads. And then the onslaught began. Baseball-sized ice bombs crashed down, detonating on contact, shredding trees, obliterating car windshields, and punching holes straight through roofs. The roar was apocalyptic, like rapid machine gun fire fused with rolling thunder. People scrambled for shelter as winds howled beyond 60 mph, snapping power lines and hurling debris like shrapnel. A mother in Ipswich later recalled, "At first I thought it was snow until it started ripping the house to pieces." In under 10 minutes, streets disappeared beneath a thick white shroud of ice. Cars resembled battered wrecks from a demolition derby. Roofs collapsed, windows exploded. A land famous for sunshine and serenity was transformed into a frozen war zone. This wasn't any storm. It was a meteorological beast, destined to rank among Australia's most savage hail assaults ever. How did the heavens betray an entire region in mere minutes? Wow. Wicked. Hours earlier, Queensland's atmosphere was a powder keg waiting to blow. Radar screens lit up with a deadly alignment, a clash of extremes primed to shatter a serene spring day. Warm, saturated air surged north from the Coral Sea. A cold, dry front shoved in from the Southern Ocean. High overhead, the jet stream howled at nearly 100 mph, wrenching the brewing storm into a spinning vortex. As one forecaster put it, a perfect storm brewing. By 4:30 p.m., the explosion ignited. Over the Lockyer Valley, the sky morphed from gray to a ghostly green, the hallmark of brutal hail. Lightning slashed the clouds, chased by thunder that rumbled like distant artillery across the hills. Deep in the supercell, ferocious updrafts rocket ice particles skyward into the icy stratosphere. They spun, froze, dropped, and rose again, layering on ice with every loop until tiny grains became baseball-sized missiles hanging in the clouds. When gravity claimed them, they screamed earthward at over 100 mph, striking with bone-crushing power. Meteorologist Felicity Gamble from the Bureau of Meteorology later said, "It was the ultimate mix: heat, moisture, and vertical wind shear. It all converged at the worst possible instant." Alerts blasted across radio, TV, and phones. Take cover now. But for thousands in the path, it was too late. The supercell roared to life, charging east toward Ipswich, Brisbane, and the Gold Coast, millions in its sights. What started as unstable air had morphed into a history-making leviathan. When the storm hit land, it was all-out war from the skies. In Pratton, Clifton, and Mount Walker, the initial hail barrage struck like artillery shells. Baseball-sized chunks hammered roofs, blasted through skylights, and pulverized car windows like fragile crystal. The noise escalated to torture, a thunderous symphony of metal twists, shattering glass, and endless impacts. Locals described it as being trapped in a giant drum under machine gun hail. Power lines whipped and broke, sparking wildly on flooded roads. A driver in Clifton dodged death as a live wire slammed his truck, flames dancing on soaked asphalt. Trees cracked and crashed under 60 mph gusts, barricading roads and pinning vehicles under branches. Hail piled so deep it mimicked a tropical blizzard. In under 15 minutes, lawns, driveways, and highways buried under 3 inches of solid ice. A beach-loving paradise, now a icy apocalypse. The Queensland State Emergency Service drowned in pleas, over 2,500 calls in hours. Collapsing homes, blackouts, injuries, motorists trapped in rising floods. Firefighters chainsawed through ice-slick paths with flashlights. Drone views revealed nightmare scenes, homes pockmarked by craters, cars mangled irreparably, suburbs swallowed in white. Stunning from afar, pure hell below, one resident summed it. It looked like winter, but it felt like Armageddon. The storm barreled east toward Brisbane, Australia's bustling giant, and nothing could prepare for the fury ahead. Oh, geez, that's a big-ass hail. When the tempest passed, the hush was haunting, worse than the chaos. No wind, no birds, just dripping water, blaring car alarms, and distant sirens wailing. Southeast Queensland plunged into gloom. Over 81,000 homes dark. Neighborhoods glowed faintly by flashlight or lingering lightning offshore. Families waded ankle-deep in homes, gaping at collapsed ceilings and ruined belongings. In Ipswich, young Mom Claire sheltered her 2 kids in the windowless bathroom. "We heard the roof shredding above us," she said. "The racket made me sure the house was caving in." Emerging, her street was alien, car crushed, yard entombed in ice. Brisbane and Toowoomba businesses lay ravaged. Dealerships scrapped hundreds of vehicles, windshields gone, hoods moon-cratered. Shop owners sloshed through flooded ruins, shelves toppled, stock destroyed. A bakery owner lamented, 10 years building this. 10 minutes to wipe it out. Emergency lines flooded with thousands trapped, homes failing, blocks powerless and dry. Choppers lit blacked-out streets as crews toiled manually. Insurers swamped with 11,000 claims fast. Damage tallied hundreds of millions, one of Australia's priciest hail disasters. Yet amid ruin, a miracle. 0 confirmed deaths. Early alerts and swift shelter saved lives. But scars ran soul deep. One man, sweeping glass by lantern. Rebuild the house, replace the car. But that hail sound? It haunts forever. For experts, this was a supercell masterpiece, nature's fiercest fury. Silent buildup, then landscape-altering blast. Bureau of Meteorology. Core soared over 45,000 feet, topping Everest. Updrafts turbine-spun ice in sub-zero heights. Hailstones layered like onions, ballooning to baseball or tennis ball size. Too heavy, they plunged at near 100 meters. Harder than a pro pitch. Tiles splintered like eggshells. Skylights burst. Panels and gutters torn asunder. Felicity Gamble at briefing. All disaster ingredients: moisture, heat, wind shear. Result: ice tornado power. Radar showed flawless spiral over Ipswich, Lockyer Valley, Brisbane West. Peak reflectivity hurricane level. Danger: the pattern. Decades rise in supercells, hail ferocity. Warmer seas, shifting air fuel extremes. Generational events now triennial. Global echo, Texas, Oklahoma, Midwest spring maelstroms. Warming world, dice roll each season, odds worsening. Climatologist, not weather, symptom of planetary imbalance. Skies cleared, Queensland a disaster flick set. Vibrant hoods white buried in ice and junk. Cars crumpled like tin. Lines sagged. But life stirred. Dawn. Neighbors emerged to stillness, becoming rescuers. Men tarped roofs with hammers. Women chained sandbags, cleared drains, swept floods. Gens hummed. Saws screamed. Rebuild drowned thunder. 400 plus emergency pros nonstop, thousands aided. SES mobile hubs in wrecked towns. Clear roads, power up, supplies out. Centers morphed shelters. Hot food, blankets, respite. Premier Stephen Miles toured devastation, pledging recovery cash for families, farmers, businesses. Storm shattered glass and steel, not Queensland spirit. Residents proved it. Resilience innate. Volunteers fed, powered, caffeinated crews. Insurers droned billions in hits. Exhausted, folks laughed, embraced, swapped survival tales. Viral. Dad hoists kid on shoulders over Ice Street at sunrise, cracked windows behind. We'll fix it. We always do. Week's end. Power to tens of thousands. Roads opened. Amid wreckage, truth. Nature pushes limits, reveals strength. Hail melted into soil, question hung. Storm or omen. Damage quantifiable. Thousands homes hit, lines ripped, cars totaled, crops crushed, lives flipped. Deeper, emotional jolt. Normalcy to disaster thinner yearly. Experts, new normal. Rare storms frequent, fiercer, wider. Not Aussie alone. U.S. heartland, Texas hail plains, Florida, Carolina floods. Storms amp, costs soar, prep window shrinks. Queensland's fate anywhere. Bright day, warm breeze, then ice rain. Resident, rebuild home, forget storm sound? Never. Point, don't forget. Message, world fragile, nature boss. But resilience, community. Courage, compassion, surge post-storm. You, nature cycle or planet shift beyond adapt. Story hit hard, fragility under one sky. Think, like, share awareness. Subscribe survival, resilience, transitioning planet tales. Every storm marks. Before next, decide, ready?